Hi, I'm Reverend Tom Kearns, and welcome to 333 Magic 9, where the tarot cards and the astrology stars come together to help you. September's an exciting month. We go back to work, back to school, back to our routines, and here's the energy that will be affecting you. The tarot cards that will be used this month correspond with the astrology. They are the Two of Swords, which represents confusion and lack of vision. The Five of Cups, which represents loss and depression. The Moon, which represents emotions and the psychic. And the Seven of Wands, which represents holding one's own. Libra, the tarot card for the first week of the month is the Two of Swords. It shows a blindfolded woman holding two swords, basically going in different directions, and the moon is floating in the sky above her. Now, this suggests there may be some confusion in the air around you due to a lack of clarity. You can't see. So what you need to do is you need to take a moment to look clearly at your present situation to gain an understanding so you can restore your balance. Then you can move ahead. Now, as we look down into the astrology for the first week, the month begins with Mars in Virgo in the 12th house of limitation, and he is in opposition to Neptune in the 6th house of work and health. Now, you need to think carefully before you disagree with others at work. And the important thing is here that you might not understand everything that's going on, and you might be being too impulsive on the job, so don't do that either. Now, Mercury will trine Saturn, and that will happen on the 4th. It'll connect your 1st house of personality with your 5th house of pleasure and creativity. So this can help clarify your desires so you understand what you need and what you can give into situations. And then the week will end with Venus in the 1st house of projection, how your personality comes out, square to Pluto in your 4th house of foundations. So do not act selfishly, especially with those who mean the most to you, because this is the area of home and family. As we move into the second week, the tarot card for the second week is the Five of Cups. It shows a very despondent man, and he's not seeing the future. And you can see the 3 cups here, but there's still 2 cups here that are good, but he can't see them. So what this suggests is there may be something that is deep inside of you and troubling you on an emotional level. You may be feeling a loss or a personal disappointment. Now, this is a good time perhaps to let the past go and look into a new direction, because look, there's a bridge to the future and there's a castle waiting up here on the hill. So maybe leave the past behind and get prepared for a better future. As we look down here into the second week in the astrology, the week begins with Venus entering into Scorpio and the 2nd house on the 10th. Now, Venus likes being in the 2nd house, but she doesn't particularly like Scorpio that much. So you're going to have to focus on business and financial dealings with others. You have a sense here that you're highly intuitive, so listen to your deeper feelings, but don't mix business and pleasure. That could be a trap. And there is a very big T-square. You can see the moon is moving down here and will square the sun and square Neptune, and that's over the 13th and the 14th. And this can bring confusion that can affect your work and your daily routines. So make sure you find some quiet time so you can sort out any emotional fears that could affect your work. You'll be much better off. The card for the third week of the month is the moon. Now it shows the moon shining in the heavens. And there's a dog and a wolf, and they like to howl at the moon. And there's a crayfish exiting out of the water. And this is a suggestion that there is a lot of psychic and emotional energy affecting you on a subconscious level, because that's what the moon rules. So you may need to deepen yourself and listen to the messages that are coming from inside of you. They may be bringing you great insight to your future, because the path leads to the future. Now, as we look down in the astrology for the third week, there is a bit of a disruption in the beginning as Venus and Saturn are squared. And that challenges you, so there's Venus and there's Saturn, that challenges you to be careful with any type of financial or value information that you have, that you're not sharing this with other people. So you might find you're spilling information that should be kept in quiet. And especially when the full moon happens here, the moon is moving up, will oppose the sun on the 20th. And this suggests you need to spend some time being quiet, being peaceful, and catching up on your work and your health routines. Take good care of yourself. You'll feel satisfied with what you can accomplish at work. And then the week will end with Mercury up here squaring Pluto. And this may expose to you some information that has been hidden and that you can use to feel more secure. As we go into the fourth week, the tarot card is the Seven of Wands. Now, this card shows a man, and he is holding his own against opposing forces. And that is because he's standing on the high ground. He's taken the high ground. Now, this suggests there's a lot of energy. Look at all the energy around and about you. Some is combative, some is disruptive, and some is just simple competition. But you can hold your own against the forces, but you should try to maintain the high ground. And that means your sense of truth and justice and honesty. So stay on the high ground. Now, as we look in the astrology for the fourth week, it begins with Venus in the second house in opposition to Uranus in the eighth house. Now, the second and the eighth houses deal with resources, your own, your energy, resources you share with others, energy you share with others. So you must make sure that you're not mixing your money with other people's money or your sensuality with other people's sensuality unless there are clear boundaries. Sex may present some very awkward moments, so do be careful. Now, you'll be helped out a little bit as Mars will be trine to Saturn on the 25th. Now, this is your energy projecting, and this is the area of romance, so this can settle things down and it can be helpful. But you have to be careful not to be too open, because Mercury is going to be going retrograde here on the 27th, in your first house of expression. So you got to watch your words, for they may be misunderstood. And finally, there is a square between Venus and Jupiter. And this is going to ask you to really use your common sense with money, with passion, with romance. And that's because both Venus and Jupiter really like the good life, and they do tend to be extravagant. So be a little careful. Common sense. Hi, I'm Reverend Tom Kearns, and this is my story. If you are a spiritual seeker, it may help you on your journey. I believe your spiritual development is as important as your religion. If you look at Christianity, it focuses on the life of Jesus. But Jesus was never a Christian. he was Jewish. If this thought intrigues you, you'll enjoy my new book, Light from Water, Freeing Jesus. It's available on Amazon.com and through fine bookstores. And it may help you on your spiritual journey. I'd like to thank you for watching and thank you for listening. Remember to subscribe because these videos are free and hit the little bell for notifications. And for a special offer, visit my website, internetpsychicreadings.com. I hope you will like this video and also press the little bell for notifications when my new videos come out.